All right, we are so excited for our team call tonight. We're going to talk about how to navigate conversations, and we're going to go over 4 different areas. We're going to first stop is key questions, then we're going to talk about key tips. I'm going to share with you, I'm going to read to you a couple conversations because I forgot to pull them up as screenshots, but I'm going to read them to you of specific conversations that I have had that have turned into challenge packs. And then we'll do a Q&A and or a role play at the end with conversations and rebuttals and things like that. So step 1 is key questions. So Jennifer and I are just going to share some of the ones that we like to use the most. This is a lot of times called, I think it's called forming. And so basically you're asking them back and forth to figure out, A, if you'd be a good fit to work together, B, if Beachbody would be a good fit for their specific needs, and C, how you integrate those 2 things and form a relationship with them to the point where they become one of your challengers. So the first question that I always start out with, and you're going to have to find what works for you, but this is kind of the structure Jennifer and I, when we were preparing, we realized that our structure was very, very similar in the way that we progressed our conversations and what questions we asked. So my very first question right out of the gate, somebody messages me or I send an invite and they ask a question. I'll say, okay, share with me a little bit about your goals and what you hope to achieve long term. So that gives them a chance to open up about what they're hoping to achieve by working with you, and kind of gives you a picture of where to guide the conversation next. And then Jen, yours.
Yeah, so the next question is, what have you tried in the past that has and hasn't worked? And, you know, you want to get as deep as you can to learn more and more about what they've been doing specifically. I mean, like Rachel and I will be happy to admit that we are, you know, on junkie programs or whatever they're called, quick fixes in the past. So, you know, we've tried plenty of things before Beachbody. So, you know, you just want to get deeper and deeper because you're forming that relationship with that person.
Yeah, and it also allows you to know if they've tried protein shakes in the past. Mm-hmm. And so that way you can know whether they are going to be anti-Shakeology or not. So it's a great indicator of that. The next question we ask is, what type of fitness do you enjoy most? And I usually include a description like, i.e., cardio, dance, yoga, weights. That way they can kind of understand what the question is. But that's, you know, you've got a guide because as the coach, you're the one directing the conversation and you're the one that's going to figure out what best fits their needs.
Yep. And then the next one is, what is your biggest nutrition struggle? And this one's really important because of the whole Portion Fix program that Beachbody developed, Autumn Calabrese developed for 21 Day Fix, because that's a huge game changer through all of Beachbody's programs. And it's just really important to know what they're struggling with nutrition wise, because that also brings in Shakeology, because that can cover one meal. Or you want to find out, are they eating out every day? Are they, you know, because they're going to, one of the reservations people are going to have about Shakeology is cost. So you're kind of just trying to get tidbits of information to bring back out later at some point.
The next one would be, what does your support system look like? I like this one because if they say I don't have one, it gives you an opportunity to show the value of having a coach and having an accountability group.
And then the next one, which is a question that Rachel asks, which I love. So this is new to me, which I'm going to start using. If failure was not an obstacle, what would it mean if you reached your goals?
And that really makes them pause and think about how important is this really? Do they really just want a quick fix, or are they looking to change their life completely? So the next thing we're going to go into is key tips. These are some things that, as we were trying to figure out how to share some knowledge with you guys, and because I feel like if you can master conversations, then the business becomes so much easier because you are able to communicate your passion as a coach and able to share that and change lives in the process. So the first recommendation I would make is always end your responses with a question. So if you're having a conversation back and forth, by always ending your short sentence, whatever, with a question, it keeps the conversation going. What I found when I first started having conversations is they would say something and I would have like a little rebuttal and I wouldn't ask a question, the conversation would die. And I could never figure out how to get that conversation back in the momentum that it had initially. So always end your responses with a question.
And keep your responses to a paragraph until you explain the program. And this basically just goes on, we don't want to kind of throw up too much information. We want to keep it to a minimum. I mean, you're wanting to grow your relationship, so you really want them to talk more than you're talking. The only time you need to say a lot is going to be when you're explaining the programs and how Beachbody works, how Shakeology works, and those kinds of things. But when you're just forming your or forming the person in your conversations, you want to just keep it very short. And like Rachel said, always end with a question.
The next thing we would share is your mindset. This is key when you're going into conversations, and I would stress personal development on this one because if you are viewing conversations as scary, and if you're viewing them particularly as a sale or a challenge pack point, I can vividly remember certain months when I was pushing to hit Success Club 10, and I'm sure that those people I was talking to could feel that stress of me wanting a number instead of wanting to change a life. And so if your mindset, if you go into the conversation that you want to change their life, whether it's a challenge pack or not, then they're going to feel that kindness and compassion towards them, and they're going to be more inclined to be receptive to what you have to say.
And the next tip really is important to me because it goes into having these conversations specifically on Facebook. So when you're having messaging back and forth with someone, you'll get that notification that says someone has messaged you. And for me, there's kind of two options. You can ignore the message completely if you don't have time to answer it right away, or you can acknowledge that they've messaged you and say, something like, I can't talk right now, I'm doing so-and-so, can I follow up with you at a specific time? And you want to treat yourself like a business, so give them an option of what time is going to work best for them, or tell them what time works best for you. But really, that's just important because you want them to know that they're important to you. And the reason that I say either don't look at the message is because I kind of hate, as a coach, when someone's viewed my message and I know they've seen my message and they don't respond to my message. So I can only imagine if somebody does that, if I do that to them. So I don't want to look. Like, I can see that it's there, but I'm not going to read it until I can actually respond to it. So that's kind of my reasoning for that. So
I'll even go so far as to not log into Messenger so it doesn't say that I've popped up in so many hours.
I haven't tried that one. I need to try that one.
But, and that goes back to the hot mess video I did the other day of using the voice feature on Facebook Messenger. I use that a lot because I'll say, hey, and they can hear Aiden losing his mind in the background. And I'll say, hey, I've got a lot going on right now. I'm going to try to respond as best I can. Just be patient with me. And no, people don't care. They know that you're trying to do a lot. And so, but yes. All right. The next thing is, and this is really hard to do, don't take the no's or the ignores personally. Y'all, this is hard. I had a situation this past week that made me so mad. Actually, I was messaging Megan about it. I had a girl who I've been working with for 8 months who was in my challenge group, who I checked in consistently, and who had been talking to me about Shakeology and products for 8 months. And I just, at some point, I just let it go and said, this girl's never going to buy, but I still hope that I can have a positive impact. Well, I messaged her when Jen and I's group split, and I said, hey, I'm breaking off into my own group. Wanted to check with you to see like where you're at, how things are going. She's like, oh, they're going great. I bought Shakeology and a program from my friend who's a coach. You're such an inspiration. Can I please keep in touch with you? And I was like, ah! No. Of course, I was nice, and I was like, oh,
You're cut off.
your coach is going to be the one to support you, but let's definitely stay friends. And blah. But you can't take it personally because it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't anything that I did. I can't take the no personally. Did it make me mad? Yes. I didn't waste time. It was still helpful. But regardless, not taking those things personally. This is a really tough one for me to do because when I see people ignore my message, in the beginning when I was sending cold invites, I was like, well, man, they must think badly of me, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to change lives. And if somebody is not receptive to that, that's not a reflection of who I am. It doesn't make my efforts any less sincere. It just means that they're not in a place that either they want to receive it, they're not ready for it, they are rebelling against it, and regardless, it's not a reflection of me. So I encourage you, no matter how hard it is, to not take the no's personal. And I've dealt with a lot of this, a lot of this in the last couple months, because it goes for coaching too, having personal coaches and not taking things personally. So that would be it. Don't take the no's and the ignores personally.
The next big one is know the products. And my suggestion for this is if the back office has great information about each product, but my advice is just to go to YouTube and, type in the program that you want to learn about and watch the infomercial that they've created. It's a great way to learn what the program is, and you don't have to do a ton of reading. And then have a testimony from that program. So and what I mean by that is whether that's a program that you've been through and you've done and you have before and afters, or whether it's someone that has before and afters. That's a lot better than just posting the stock photos that you can find on the Beachbody website. We want to share testimonials that we have had contact with. We don't want to do Joe Schmo's before and after. They can find that on the internet. We want to have that personal connection to the testimonies that we share. But learning the products are key to being able to place a person with a specific program. And I found out just a little tidbit about Beachbody On Demand. I don't know if anybody knows this. Maybe I'm just learning it for the first time, but there's an actual option that it'll select a program for you. If you're unaware of what kind of program you want to do, it asks you to put in your weight and your gender and like if you like cardio and those kinds of things, and it spits out a program. Like it said I need to do Asylum, and I was like, I don't think so, but I don't think so. But anyway, it's very helpful on the BOD website, so I thought it was really cool.
That is super cool. I need to look at that because I don't know what program I'm doing next, so maybe it can help me out.
You're going to get Asylum, I'm telling you.
And I, just to tackle
you won't put cardio. See, I put cardio, and that's why it gave me Asylum.
No, I don't like cardio. And I will tack onto that. Having a transformation from, in this, I had a lot of weight to lose, so I was able to do this. But I have a transformation from size, 21 Day Fix Extreme, Hammer and Chisel, Country Heat, Quarter Force. I can send a specific before and after for each of the programs that I've done. And it's a blessing to me in my journey because I've realized in this second round of Quarter Force, I can't do 2 rounds of program. I get bored and my nutrition goes to crap. And,
Katie's agreeing.
Yeah. But that's a good thing because every month I can challenge myself and have a new transformation, have a personal interaction with the program. So that's just how I'm wired. So the next thing would be know, and this one is really hard for us to do, know that you're going to fail in your conversations. You're going to say the wrong thing or push the conversation too early or not lead it strongly enough. You're going to have those times, but you have to fail forward. And the more conversations that you have, the more confident that you'll be. And learning from those conversations, I can look back and I in my head, I have conversations that I rushed. And they'll never probably ever come to me. But that's okay. That was a learning experience. And I took that and have used that from going forward. So I encourage you, fear is going to be the number one thing that holds you back. And that was one of the things in the comments that we asked you guys. I really appreciate you giving us some feedback on that post on our page. But the main thing that I kept hearing was, how do you get a conversation from building a relationship to the invite? And the only thing standing in the way of those two things is fear. And so when you can conquer that fear of what they're going to think of you, how it's going to come across, and realize that you're offering them the chance at a life change, you're not shoving a bunch of pills down their throat. You're offering them a chance to change their life potentially forever. And so, you know, for me, once I could get over that mental hurdle of selling a product, I'm not selling a product, I'm offering a life change. And so when I could get past that fear, then I can send an invite to anybody. So fear, and I found an acronym. That's what it's called, right? Where it's like the
yep.
It says it's fear, face, everything, and rise. And I loved that because I felt like that's very applicable with our coaching businesses, because every scenario that we come across, we can either use it as a stumbling block or we can use it as a learning experience. So unfortunately, I did not have my act together. I was going to show these on the screen, but I'm just going to read them to you. So I have two different conversations. Those were kind of our key tips, pointers, and questions. I'm going to read through these conversations that I had with two of my challengers, and then we're going to open the floor to questions, because I want you guys to ask some questions so that we can problem solve. And then Jen and I, if we think that it would be helpful, may do a little role play. She'll give me a rebuttal, and I'll kind of talk through that. So this one is someone that commented on my picture and on my transformation post and said, I want more information. So I reached out to her and I said, hey girl, I got your comment. Let's chat and see what we can do. Tell me about your goals and we can go from there. Side note, your wedding pictures are stunning. But I always try to add something personal in that even beginning text so that they know that I've looked at their page. I always like to do that because you don't know if somebody had a death in the family and it's a bad time. You don't want to be insensitive. So she commented back and she said, oh, thanks so much. Well, I've been trying to lose this weight for the past 2 years. I had my gallbladder and appendix removed. Since then, I've done nothing but gain weight. I have tried different diets, but nothing will stick. Overall, I need to lose about 100 pounds, but I think I need to make smaller goals and reach those. Thinking about that huge number discourages me. So my response was, girl, I can totally relate. I gained 100 pounds in 4 years, and it was so overwhelming. I focused on small daily steps, and it added up over time. I would love to help you refocus over time those discouraging thoughts that overwhelm you, because I've been through that struggle myself. So the biggest thing with that is I'm relating it back to me. So with every response that she had, I related it back to me and my story. And that's really important, because you're not selling a product. You're selling you, because you're selling the opportunity to work with you as a coach. And so that's key, is every time someone comes back with something, and because you're working on yourself, you should have some kind of response. And even if you can't relate to her in that you needed to lose 100 pounds, you can say, well, I remember feeling so sluggish when I was 20 pounds overweight or whatever. So then I asked her, I said, okay, well, what's your biggest nutrition struggle? She said, probably sweets, LOL. Also, just being accountable and sticking to something I'll do good for a few days and then I fail. I tried Advocare, but it was way too many supplements. I tried LCHF and lost 15 pounds, but completely lost all my energy. I do good on a schedule. Right there, she gave me a landmine, gold mine of stuff to talk about. She talked about she does good on a schedule, a calendar with a workout schedule is going to be great for her. She talked about needing accountability, which is perfect because that's what I offer. She talked about sweets. Shakeology is right up her alley. So with that, she gave me things where I could come back and talk to her about. So my response was, sweets are one of my vices too. Again, relating it back to me. I think you'd freak over the taste of the chocolate Shakeology, because personally, I've heard Advocare is gross. It has changed the game for my cravings for sweets because it tastes so dang good. So in retrospect, this was several months ago, so I'd probably add a little bit more about like why it's good, not just, oh my God, it's so good. But anyways, thank goodness she signed up anyways. But the accountability portion I can totally do. That's what my groups are created for. That costs absolutely nothing. It's my gift to you. The only thing you purchase is the program package. I think you'd really enjoy a program because it will tell you exactly how to work out, when to work out, how long to work out, what to eat, how much to eat, when to eat. It's just so awesome. Tell me what type of fitness that you enjoy. So, I mean, I'm following those questions just like Jen and I shared earlier, like to a T. Oops. Okay. I screenshotted 2 of those. And she said, I like cardio okay. I'm not big on running, but I like to walk. I've never been that great with going to the gym. I enjoy working out at home a whole lot more, and I hate having to go anywhere but home after work. It's definitely been the biggest struggle staying motivated, only because no one else around me is trying to lose weight. Now, I will say this girl was like, she was ready. Like this is the perfect type of person to connect with because she was in that place where she was ready. And we've all been there. We know what that's like. And I said, so my response was, let's surround you with other women who are working on the same goals to keep you motivated. I am the same way about the gym. I didn't read through this. Ain't nobody got time for that. What about dancing? Do you like Zumba or anything like that? Be generically you. Don't script it. Don't have a script to follow. I know coaches that have like a script that it's just spit it out. That's not. No. She knows it. Ain't nobody got time for that. And she said, yes, I tried Zumba a long time ago when I used to go to the Y and really liked it. So immediately, boom, this was right when Country Heat released. Immediately, boom, I said, Country Heat, this is going to be perfect for this girl. And so I said, oh my gosh, girl, I have the best starting place for you. I have been doing a brand new program called Country Heat. So then I explained the program. She responded with, it sounds good to me. Then that's when I segued into the price. I broke down everything she got in the challenge pack, like to a T. I explained it all. And then at the end of it, I gave her the price, and I said, does that sound doable? And she responded with, yes, it sure does. I came back with the discount member versus the regular customer script at that point. Have you all seen that in our team page by chance? It is a great way. I know that that a lot of us can be a little bit scared talking about discount coaching opportunity right away. But if you tell them a discount member versus a customer, and you just break it down, a customer pays $140 now and $140 every month after. A discount member pays $140 now and $115 every month after. And most people are going to be like, well, duh, that's a no-brainer. And so when I've shifted my mindset, that has really helped. So she ended up signing up as a coach right away, right out of the gate. The second conversation is someone who reached out to me. No, I had dry invited her a Quarter Force invite. So this was when we were doing round 1 of Quarter Force. She's in our Quarter Force group, but she's never participated one single time. But she loved it. But so I sent her a specific invite to Quarter Force. Never talked to her before in my life. I don't know her. She's like a blog friend somehow that I gained over the course of the last 8 months. And so I sent her the dry invite, and she responded and said, I would like to hear more about what you're looking for. And I said, sure, that'd be awesome. And then just a short paragraph. I said, basically, I'm looking for men and women who are wanting a high-intensity home workout that gives them structure and guidance to reach their goals, that they're looking to find healthy, maintainable eating habits through portion control. Would you like me to add you to the event page so you can learn more and see if you'd like to be a part of it? So simple, just a couple quick things, and I was done. She said, immediately, how much is it? How many times do we get that question? And she said, how much is it? I like the 21-day Fix Extreme workouts. She already has Beachbody stuff. I like the 21-day Fix Extreme workouts and would love my husband to do them with me. I have the containers but have never used them. And I said, well, it depends on which package you get, but I can give you a ballpark. Are you working with another coach? I'm doing Fix Extreme right now. Plyo kicked my booty tonight. So again, relating it back to me. I've used the containers for the last year and I love them. Do you have another plan that you follow for nutrition that you like better? So that's giving me an idea of kind of like, is she serious? Is she just like blowing smoke at my rear end? Like, what's going on? She said, I'm not working with another coach. I like running, but wanted to do some strength stuff too, so I bought those workouts. And no, I don't have another nutrition plan. So I asked her, I said, will you share with me a little bit about what you're looking to achieve, and I can help guide you to see if this program fits your needs. So I'm still focusing on her needs without sharing the price yet. So I've still kind of been guiding that conversation without sharing the price. Some people are going to come out again, all right, tell me how much it is. And you're just going to have to say it. And those people are probably not the people that are going to sign up with you anyways. But if you can guide the conversation and just like steer them around a little bit, it will help. And I said, as long as you're not working with another coach, I'm good. Did you buy it off an infomercial? I said, I just want to be respectful of other coaches because I really want to be careful of that. She said, I would love to lose weight in inches. I'd like to get up early to get my workout in. I bought it off Amazon. I thought you said a test group, so that was what intrigued me. Try something for 30 days and see how it works. And I explained a little bit more about the group. And she said, well, what all does it entail? I turned 40 on November 14th, so it would be fun to make some changes. I like the fixed workouts, but I don't know about kickboxing. So through the next couple messages, we problem solved through what she was looking for. And then I gave her the price. And she said, I've wanted to try Shakeology for a long time. It's so expensive, though. How many workouts? More questions. I will think about it. I'm putting my daughter to bed. I gave her a little bit more information. She ignored my messages. A week later, I sent her a follow-up message, and I said, hey, girl, just checking back with you to see what you thought of all the info in the quarter force group. She said, I think it's good, but I'm still wondering if I can do the extreme workouts. Back and forth again. Stop talking to me again. Send her a second follow-up message. Hey, girl, just touching base with you to see if you've given quarter force any more thoughts or if you've decided what your plans are. I'm staying on it. Like she's not giving me a straight answer. So until she says, no, I'm not interested, I'm not giving up. And so after that second follow-up, she said, all right, I'm going to do it. It's $140 for the challenge pack, right? And then she was done. But I had to be persistent because it was a dry invite. She had to learn that she had to trust me and that I was going to be willing to take the time to answer her questions and not push it. But I was on it in saying that I was following up with her. She knew I was serious and that I was a professional in the business because I was treating her like a client. So those are my two conversations that I wanted to share with you that both ended up in challenge pack sales. And they're both doing great. So that's even the best part about it all. So those are kind of some guidelines and tips. We would love to hear questions at this point so that we can problem solve, because I know that this is a scary topic for some people, but if we can help you work through that, I think it'll be super beneficial in your businesses. So what are some rebuttals or arguments or rejections or things that you want to talk about? Anybody? Laurel, I see you smiling. No? Chicken.
Daniel has one.
Okay,
Yeah.
go for it.
After my transformation post on Sunday, I had a guy that I've known for about Saturday. Either way, this weekend had a guy that I've known for about 5 months contact me and say, "Hey, listen, dude, I've got to make a change." That kind of hit home.